Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year, and welcome to the Village of Bartlett Board meeting for January 5th, 2016. I call this meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Ahrens, absent. Kammerer.
Here.
Carbonaro.
Here.
Daney.
Here.
Hopkins.
Here.
REINKE.
Here.
President Wallace.
Here. Requested Pastor Susan Terrell to do our invocation this evening. Pastor Terrell.
Let's go to the spirit of prayer. Holy One of all, on the cusp of the new year and all that it will bring, we ask your continuing presence with the village board, its commissions, and the people of Bartlett. We would not focus on the past year so much as to blur the future, so allow us to take the lessons learned and use them for the mysteries that lie ahead. Give us courage and strength wrapped in your great wisdom. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Terrell. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving along to consent agenda. With the consent agenda, all items listed with an asterisk will be considered enacted in one motion. There will be no additional discussion with any items on the consent agenda. At this point, is there anything the board would like to add to the consent agenda?
Mr. President, could we take the minutes off of the consent agenda?
Okay. Do you have a correction?
He wasn't here.
No, I wasn't here.
Anything else? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to amend the consent agenda, withdrawing the minutes and including the bills list and item 12D, License and Ordinance Committee, St. Peter Damian Church Class D liquor license.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Kammerer, seconded by Trustee Daney. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Kammerer.
Yes.
Carbonaro.
Yes.
Daney.
Yes.
Hopkins. Yes. REINKE.
Yes.
Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to approve the amended consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Kammerer. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Carbonaro.
Yes.
Daney.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
REINKE.
Yes.
Kammerer.
Yes.
That motion carries. Now I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the board and committee meeting from December 15th, 2015.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Carbonaro, seconded by Trustee Daney. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Carbonaro.
Yes.
Daney.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
REINKE.
Abstain.
Kammerer.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next item with the question and answers. Any questions from the board at this point? Hearing none, we'll move on to Town Hall. At this point in the meeting, anyone that would like to address the board, please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and kindly keep your words to 3 minutes or less.
Good evening. Art Personic, 925 Auburn Lane in Bartlett. President Wallace, did you have a chance to go to Governor Rauner's press conference yesterday about government consolidation?
I did not.
Did not? Okay. Well, thank you, Governor Rauner. That was a late Christmas present for a lot of us here in the state. Obviously, one of the big complaints about a lot of people in Illinois is the high taxes in that. And we in Bartlett and DuPage do see a lot of taxes here. For a while now, several colleagues and I have been thinking about a way to try and help reduce the tax burden. And I would like to announce tonight we're going to do a citizens initiative to see about eliminating the Wayne Township government, either eliminate it or modify it in a way that we would reduce the costs and pass that on to the taxpayers. What we're planning on doing is inviting the mayors of Bartlett, Hanover Park, Carroll Stream, West Chicago, and Wayne to participate to see how something like that can be achieved, what the villages would look at taking upon themselves if we could eliminate the road commission, tax assessor, things like that. And then we would work with the county to see how they can absorb that and what the cost differences would be and the pros and cons of everything. The report basically relies on the people to decide that. So ultimately, we would like to see a referendum on the ballot next November when we're going to get a good turnout for the presidential election so that the residents can decide, is it a good thing or not? I imagine the burden's going to fall on the unincorporated areas because they're the major recipients of services of the township, but they're kind of not paying for everything that they're getting these days also. So, you know, that's all got to be worked out, and that's why we want to get the mayors involved, we want to get the county involved, and we'll get the residents involved. So we look forward to several months of talking about these things and getting it on the ballot next November so that maybe we can help our tax situation a little bit, giving you guys more money to spend for Bartlett. Thank you.
All right, is there a specific date set up for the
I'm
first
going to
meeting
email
yet?
all the mayors,
Okay.
and Chairman Cronin and
Fantastic.
Arlene Rossetti, who was on that committee, and we'll find some dates that are suitable for everybody, and then we'll set up the first meeting and go from there.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Anybody else like to address the board at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to our standing committee reports. First standing committee report this evening is Planning and Zoning Committee. Chairman Reinke.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Reinke. Next standing committee report is on the Building Committee. Chairman Hopkins.
Thank you, President Wallace. There's nothing to report.
Thank you, Chairman Hopkins. Next standing committee report is Finance and Golf Committee. Chairman Daney.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing to report this evening.
Thank you, Chairman Daney. Next standing committee report is License and Ordinance Committee. Chairman Ahrens, who's absent, her only agenda item was on the consent agenda. Next standing committee report is Police and Health Committee. Chairman Carbonaro.
Thank you, Mr. President. Unfortunately, I do have something on there. The deferred item, are we going to executive session on that?
We'll discuss this matter after the executive session.
Okay.
It's deferred.
Thank you, Chairman Carbonaro. Next standing committee report is our Public Works Committee. Chairman Kammerer.
Thank you, Mr. President. And yes, we do have a few things in the Public Works Committee this evening. The first being the well number 6 iron filter media replacement. And on December 2nd, 2015, a notice to bidders was published in the Bartlett Examiner soliciting bids for the filter media replacement on our well number 6 iron filter. The project consists of removing the existing filter media, cleaning and inspecting and repairing the tank as needed, and reinstalling new filter media. 11 bid packets were sent out to the prospective bidders. 7 bids were received, and they were opened at 10 a.m. on December 23rd. All Service Contracting Corporation submitted the low bid of $30,749 for this project. All Service Contracting has done work for the village in previous years, and the work has been satisfactory. Therefore, I feel that they can adequately perform this work, and attached, we did have a bid tally here as well. That being said, is there any questions of the board for Dan or anybody else?
We can make a motion and then we can ask. Do you have a motion?
Yes, then I would move that the village board approve resolution 2016-101, a resolution approving the agreement between the Village of Bartlett and All Service Contracting Corporation for the Bartlett Well 6 iron filter media replacement project in the amount of $30,749.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Kammerer, second by Trustee Hopkins. Is there any discussion? The only question I had, Dan, is there's such a large discrepancy in some of these bids. Is there a reason for that? Like, they're double. Some of them are...
I think the main reason is the ones that are lower do this regularly all over the country, really, and they have a system where they are basically pumping the material in. They have a piece of equipment that does it, where the higher ones are labor-intensive. They're taking bags of it and manually having guys bring the bags and dump the sand into the filter. I think that's the main difference.
Okay. Anyone else? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Daney?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
REINKE,
Yes.
Camera,
Yes.
Carbonaro.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Next thing on the agenda is the Public Works expansion. As you recall, we bid this project during the summer, and the bids came in above our budget, so we rejected the bids. Since that time, we had Public Works crews do the site work, including excavation, grading, and utility work, and hired contractors to do the under-slab plumbing and concrete work. This allowed us to rebid the project for winter-spring construction. Bids for this project were open on December 23, 2015. 8 bids were received, ranging from $379,000 to $650,000. To help with some of the cost, the Public Works employees are planning to do the painting, cabinet and locker installations, and other various types of things like that. Therefore, it's recommended that the village board award the contract to Schramm Construction. I've not worked with Schramm Construction before, but they have very good references. Any questions by the board?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I just asked if there's any questions. Any questions by the board? Oh,
You can take a motion.
yeah. Okay, I move that the village board approve resolution 2016-02, approving the agreement between the Village of Bartlett and Schramm Construction Corporation for the Bartlett Public Works expansion projects. Maybe now you'd want to have discussion on it.
Motion moved by Trustee Kammer, seconded by Trustee Carbonaro. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Hopkins,
Yes.
REINKE,
Yes.
Camera,
Yes.
Carbonaro,
Yes.
Daney.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Aaron's?
Oh, I'm so sorry. So you come. Trustee Aaron's.
Yes.
Okay. And the last thing we have on the agenda is the overhead sewer program. At the December 15th committee meeting, we discussed including rental units in the overhead sewer program. After the discussion, staff was tasked with coming up with options that would address the concerns the board had. Staff proposes the following 3 options. Option 1, keep the program as is, 100% for owner-occupied single-family houses only. Option 2, keep the program the same, 100%, and include single-family rental units. Option 3, keep the program at 100% for owner-occupied single-family houses and provide 50%, not to exceed $5,000 for the single-family rental units. The program will be on a first-come, first-served basis to the budget amount and provide priority to owner-occupied houses. And the cost over the past years ranged from $8,500 to $11,200 per household. At this point, are we just trying to give them a direction, basically?
I think so.
Well, there's 3 options. You could make a motion on any one that you prefer.
Okay.
And we vote on that, and if that doesn't pass, we go to the next option, whatever.
All right. All right, I guess we'll go through each one.
We could. Does anybody have any comments before we start the...
Well, I made some comments regarding this at our last meeting, and I think everyone's heard it in the minutes. I don't have to rehash that again. Everyone knows pretty much how I feel about it, so consequently, I have nothing to say.
Okay. Then, would someone like to make a motion?
I will. I move that the village board amend the overhead sewer program policy to include option number 1.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Reinke, seconded by Trustee Aaron's. For option 1, which would keep the program as is, 100% for owner-occupied single-family houses only. The clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee REINKE,
Yes.
Aaron's,
Yes.
Camera,
Yes.
Carbonaro,
Yes.
Daney,
No?
Hopkins.
No.
Motion carries. I guess we don't have to vote on
I
option
do want to discuss
2 and
one
3,
thing
right?
before we move on. I'm not necessarily sure we should have taken them in the order that they were laid out. We could have talked about option 3 first.
It's the prerogative of
I understand
whoever
that.
commissioner.
But I'm really not happy about that. I think we should have looked at the options in a different manner.
Do you think the options would have changed the outcome?
Yes, I do.
Well, everybody was given an opportunity to discuss any of the options.
I understand it.
Okay.
And that is all we have in Public Works Committee this evening.
Thank you, Chairman Kammerer. Moving along, next item on our agenda this evening is new business. Is there any new business at this point? For the good of the order? Anyone? Hearing none, we'll move to question and answer. Anybody have any questions?
Yes, how's the bike committee coming along?
Splendidly.
Great, thanks.
As she mentioned, committees, we just had somebody, because of lack of time commitment, resigned from Economic Development Commission, right, Jim? So if anyone has suggestions, please get them to me for Economic Development Commission members. I've got a couple in mind. And we have a couple of openings, I think, that are coming up, or at least on a few of the boards. So I would suggest that if you guys don't have them, I can get them to all of you. There's a police pension board that has some renewals. There's a planning and zoning opening. So, I mean, it's all of us that should be collectively putting names into to see if people are interested in serving on those committees. So,
You still have the 2 names that I had submitted?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, or do you want me to resubmit those?
How long ago was it?
It was,
6 months?
yeah, 6
I would redo it.
Okay.
Yep. And have them indicate if they're of interest, because we have some information we'll shoot right out to them on email. It gives them an understanding of when the committees meet, what they discuss, how frequently they meet. Okay? That being said, I would entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss collective negotiation matters pursuant to Section 2C of the Open Meetings Act.
2C2.
2C2
And
of the Open Meetings Act, and to discuss pending litigation and/or imminent litigation pursuant to Section 2C11 of the Open Meetings Act.
Moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Aaron, second by Trustee Kammerer. We are adjourned to executive session, where we will come back and reconvene the board meeting upon ending of that discussion, and then we will also be going right into the committee of the whole meeting after that. All right.
session already did.
Just have a roll call to reconvene in the session here. If the clerk can please call the roll call to reconvene our regular session. And then also, for everybody's enjoyment, we will be taking a small break after we adjourn the regular meeting before we get into the committee meeting. So if we can do the roll call to reconvene the regular meeting.
Trustee Aaron's? Here. Kammerer? Here. Carbonaro?
Here.
Daney?
Here.
Hopkins? Here. President Wallace?
Here. And I will turn it over to the deferred Police and Health Committee Chairman Carbonaro for discussion about the collective negotiation matters.
At this point in time, we're going to present this for vote.
Yep. Right here.
Is that it?
12? 2016, 12?
Oh, 3.
Oh, 03, 2016-03.
What is it?
03,
03?
just 03.
Just 03.
Yeah, we're on new numbers now.
Oh, gosh.
Well, that's right.
Okay, so I am presenting a resolution approving and directing the execution of the agreement between the Village of Bartlett and the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, Chapter 114.
Second.
It's moved by trustee Carbonaro, seconded by trustee Aaron's. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Cameron,
Yes.
Carbonaro,
Yes.
Daney,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
REINKE,
Yes.
Aaron's.
Yes.
That motion carries. That will be it for the
Concludes what I have.
conclusion of your deferred Police and Health Committee. Next item we have on the agenda this evening is, actually, that's it. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, and we will take a 5-minute break.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Daney,
Second.
seconded by trustee Carbonaro. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Cameron,
Yes.
Carbonaro,
Yes.
Daney,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
REINKE,
Yes.
Aaron's.
We are adjourned.